seat. There's lots of seats. There's no reason to be standing. Grab a cookie, grab some drinks, and we'll go ahead and get started here.
Hi everybody, so my name is Rachel West, and I'm the National Sea Scout Bosun.
And my name is Pratik Vaidya, the National Venturing President.
So yes, we'd like to welcome you. So, hi.
So we're going to go ahead and start off. I believe we have one VIP in the room, and there he is. So if Mr. Jack First would like to come up, he was hiding there even though he was wearing his red coat. So he has some words for all of us.
Good evening. One old guy in the room. First off, good evening to you all. I have the privilege of giving just a couple of remarks before we get to the good stuff and then dinner. And so this is a reception that's between the stuff and fun. But let me start off with, I think first off, for those of you that have participated all week here at the National Annual Meeting, the meetings have been spectacular. There's a new sense of transparency. And as a movement, we're at a tipping point where we've got to really sit down and look at 100 years of activity and what the next 100 years is going to look like. And I think what you're seeing unfold this week and really over the last couple of years is that how does a large, big organization get around to addressing change and relevancy and all of these big issues. And fortunately, I think Randall Stevenson and Mike and the team are really putting forth a conversation on lots of different levels for us to use our creativity and imagination to kind of think about what this movement looks like over the next 100 years. With that said, one of the things that I'm most proud of is the Sea Scouts and Venturing, because these are two critical pieces of our movement that literally exist because of the intention of the will of the folks in this room. We are not the biggest piece of critical mass in the organization, and where we stand today in the organization and what our bright spots look like are there because of people like you that will not let the spirit of either venturing or Sea Scouts die and continue to want to find ways to help our local communities adopt these great programs. And so with that, I want to say thank you and keep up the good work. And we will ultimately, at the institutional level, figure out how to appropriately support you in a manner and a custom of which you deserve. Until we get to that level of support, we take care of ourselves. And this group has done a very good job of that. And the institutional leadership wants to get around to address, what our real prospects are, both in Sea Scouting and venturing. But they got quite a bit on their plate, as you can imagine. So until they can, we have to continue to do what we have done and will continue to do. And so I see lots of awards. Let me also talk about our friends at the LDS Church. Okay, so we got the news that they are going to exit our varsity and venturing programs. Number one, they are steadfast with our Cub Scouting and Boy Scouting programs, which are critical to our movement. We have been partners with the LDS Church forever. They believe that they have a solution for what they would like to do with their affinity group from 14 to 18. And we need to respect that and help them in any way we can so that they can be successful. It's good news for us because we have a program that we are very proud of and that we can now take to the marketplace with partners, local communities that like our product. And so I want to thank those folks that are part of our LDS team. We love you. We will miss you, and we want to help you. And any way we can, on the one hand. On the other hand, what we'd like to do is that we're going to have to regroup, institutional will, and go out and tackle the marketplace because there is no doubt that we'll have a void in certain geographic areas where our LDS partners have been absolutely spectacular. And so our bargain with them is we support you, we love you, we want you to do well, and whatever we can do to make a smooth transition, we stand ready to do so. Let's talk about 2016. We've had a good year. If you look at any of the metrics, we have steady. Now the good news is institutionally, we've actually had a year where there hasn't been much noise in the marketplace about scouting at large. And what we have seen across all of our programs is a little steadiness, flatness, not the declines that we've seen. So that's good work for all involved, and we're hoping that that trend continues. From a venturing side, we have two regions that are growing faster than they did last year this time. And we have two regions that want to grow faster than they did last year this time. In the VOA front, which we think is a major metric in terms of judging the health of our movement at the national level, we have more VOAs on the books today than we've ever had in our life as a movement. And so we need to give ourselves that as a big take. And again, I think what it shows to our institutional wisdom forefathers is that this group and venturing is a decision of the will, and this group believes that it should be a major product line for the Boy Scouts of America. And so we will continue to do that good work. There's lots of awards here. I just want to say to you all, it is a privilege and an honor to be a part of your group and to represent you at the board level, and that I also want to apologize because a lot of the initiatives that I would like to see us aggressively do and get done are still on the whiteboard, and I am not giving up. But it has been a challenge with all the things going on as to how to get our institutional leadership to kind of step down and really look at what the prospects are for this fine group of volunteers, the kids, the customers that we serve, and the more kids and customers that we could serve if, in my opinion, we got just a little bit more intentional at all levels. But this is not to be a sad moment. This is a great moment because the strength of venturing today is as good as it's been in the last 5 years. So that's through the work of everybody in this room. And I think, Charlie, your numbers would also indicate pretty much the same rendition. So thank you. So have a terrific evening. I'm going to turn this over to Chris. Congratulations to all of you that are going to get awards. And I certainly enjoyed being your leader. Thank you very much.
I'll give it back to the boss.
Thank you, Mr. Hurst. I know you have a very busy schedule, but thank you for your inspirational words. There are still many seats here, so please feel free to take a seat. You don't have to be standing in the back. We have a slight change of the schedule because we want to make sure all our awardees are able to get their awards, even though there's a lot of things going on tonight. So if I could have Ms. Jen Hancock, our Southern Region Advisor, Ms. Lydia Bora, our Southern Region Venturing President, we're going to do the Gold CSVE Council. So CSVE stands for Council Standards of Venturing Excellence, and it is essentially a metric that we can use to evaluate year to year how venturing is doing in a council. And so we promote it heavily on the VOA side and ask our councils to fill them out. They are signed by the Scout Executive as well as the VOA President and VOA Advisor to raise awareness. And the councils we'll be recognizing today have attained the highest level, the gold level of this award. To add some context to this, last year we didn't have any councils that received the gold level, and so this is quite a big accomplishment. And so with that, if we could start off with the Atlanta Area Council and their representatives.
get it?
And our next council from the Southern Region is the Bluegrass Council and their representatives. All right, thank you guys for all your hard work to really help and promote venturing. Next up, we'll have the Northeast Region, and we have two councils from the Northeast Region as well. The first one being Patriots Path Council. Wonderful. And our next council from the Northeast Region is Baltimore Area Council. Awesome. And our last region here is the Western Region. So if I could have, there we go, our Western Region representatives. Our first council is going to be Ore-Ida Council and their representatives. All right, looks like they're not here. And then our second council is going to be Catalina Council.
Yeah, baby. Beautiful lady with her.
Wonderful, thank you. And so those are not just our own councils. We also have many other councils who earned the bronze and silver levels of the Council Standards of Venturing Excellence. And so all our councils will be receiving them by mail in the next few days. And with that, I'd like to turn it back over to Rachel West. And thank you for letting us do a quick shift in the schedule there.
Awesome. So before we get started with the actual Sea Scout Awards, we'd like to recognize everyone in the room that is a Silver Summit or Quartermaster a recipient. So if you guys would please stand up and we'll give them a round of applause. It's the first year of the National Sea Scout Leadership Awards, and to talk about this, we're bringing up past National Bosun Peter Smith.
initiative started in the fall of 2014 to make this happen, and so today we're presenting the first National Sea Scout Leadership Awards. It's a very novel award, very similar to one that the venturing one. It's a medallion, a Sea Scout medallion suspended on red ribbon. The award is also available at the same 4 levels as the Venturing Leadership Award for councils, areas, and regions. The quotas are slightly smaller, 2 at the area, regional, and national level, and then 1 to 2 with that same quota, similar to what the Venturing Award is. So now reintroduce Rachel, who will introduce this year's award recipients.
So Peter, this was his pet project when he was National Bosun, and he can't actually receive the award, but we're giving him a shadow box with the father of the award. So
there you go.
We'd like to congratulate Peter. For our recipient that we're presenting tonight is someone that has really helped from the background for Sea Scouts. She does everything for us. Anything from ordering our business cards, scheduling flights, handling the Quartermaster Awards, everything that goes through Sea Scouts goes through Natasha. So we'd like to welcome you and receive the Sea Scout Leadership Award. So Natasha, please come.
We're full of surprise tonight. The next recipient that does not know she was receiving because she was the chairman of the committee is Rachel West, our current National Sea Scout Bosun, and received the second one.
I did not expect that at all. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to be talking about is the recognition of the national flagship. So I'd like to invite up Pete Christopher to talk about this.
Okay. Well, good evening. I'm the National Director of the Sea Scouts and have been for the last 8 years, and it's a great pleasure. We had a dozen ships around the country that submitted an application, and the criteria for this starts with the JTE. So we use the Journey to Excellence criteria for the major activities, and then each of the ships that supply us a log of their activities during the year with pictures and videos and all kinds of activities. And the ship could not be here this weekend, actually, because they're in the National Capital Area is celebrating the 50th anniversary of Goshen Scout Reservation. And so they are part of that presentation, and they will be receiving a presentation of their flag at that event. And then Mercedes and I will be going up there next weekend to a special presentation to the ship and a special bridge to share that award with them. But it's a National Flagship Award. It has the bosun's pipe, which Rachel said she didn't want to play tonight. Otherwise, she was a little out of tune. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, it's a great model, and then we'll also there's a perpetual trophy at the new museum, Scouting Museum. They lists their name. The Ship 100 out of Manassas, Maryland, is our ship flagship for 2017. So we'll give them a round of applause here, and then we'll make the presentation. They also get to wear a special patch that they wear on their uniform. We also have a fleet of selected nominees who did not make the flagship, but we only select one, but we do have a fleet of ships that will also receive that recognition. And we encourage every ship in America to make that celebration and be a part of that presentation in the future. So thank you for your support.
All right. So the last thing that we're going to be doing is our Sea Scout Change of Watch. So it's coming towards the end of my term. My term ends on May 31st, but it'll switch over here at the meeting today. So to talk about this and kind of what we do for the Change of Watch ceremony, I'd like to invite Commodore Charlie Boyster up.
Well, thanks for that introduction. Sea Scouting, of course, is a unique program in the Boy Scouts of America, and we have a number of things that we do in, on, under, and around the water. And we have the high adventure aspect of our program, which is similar to venturing, and we have the advancement, as you've heard this evening, up to the rank of quartermaster. And that's like the Boy Scout program. And then we also have an element of vocation or avocation, which is similar to the exploring program. Part of the advancement program that's written into the Sea Scout Manual is to maintain, uphold, and advance the traditions of the sea. And one of those has to do with the change of watch, which we're going to celebrate this evening. Aboard ship, the watch changes every 4 hours. And the officer of the deck, who navigates and commands the vessel day to day, in and out, when the captain's not on the bridge. The oncoming officer of the deck familiarizes himself with the circumstances of the weather, navigation, nearby vessels and hazards, and the off-going officer of the deck provides a briefing of what's going on in the past watch and what to expect in the upcoming watch. Now, what we have done in Sea Scouts is taken that traditional change of watch, happens every day, 4-hour intervals, and we formalized it into the tradition of this ceremonial change of watch between the two bosuns. Our outgoing bosun, Rachel West, and our incoming bosun, Mercedes Matlock. So we'll go ahead with the ceremony now.
I'm ready to relieve you. I stand relieved. I accept the watch.
I first want to thank Rachel for serving such a great term as National Bosuns and being a role model for me to serve as. And I really enjoyed getting to know you over this week and talking to you in the booth all day. It's been a great time. Even though they're not here tonight, I would like to thank my parents, because without their support and help, I would have been able to earn this position as National Bosuns. I'm happy to be elected as National Bosun, and I'm really excited to serve my upcoming term this year. I now turn it over to Pratik to finish with the rest of the adventuring part of the reception.
Thank you guys so much for that, and congratulations both to the Sea Scout Leadership Award recipients and Mercedes on your new position. If I could now have the youth national officers come up to the front. We just wanted to give each of them the opportunity to talk about some of their accomplishments that they've had over this past year, in case you aren't aware. So with that. All right. So we're actually going to start with Lydia from the Southern Region.
Is this better? Hi! Thank you, Chrissy. Sorry. My name is Lydia Bora. I am currently serving as the Southern Region Venturing President for about 6 more days, which is very exciting. And I have about 3 bullet points I'd like to share with you today about what we have accomplished this term in the Southern Region Venturing. Although before I start, I have to say that none of these things can really be accredited to me, even though I am speaking about them, and they're really due to all of the passion and dedication of all the venturers and the officers and the volunteers that are within the Southern Region. So if you're in the Southern Region venturing, please stand and be recognized for your passion. Stand up. Thank you. The first thing I'd like to talk about today is that this year we decided as a region that we need to expand the support we're able to give our areas, councils, and through them, the units. We decided to do this by creating 3 regional committees to support the vice presidents. These committees are the Records Committee, the Newsletter Committee, and the Regional Event Committee. Our Records Committee has worked tirelessly to be able to categorize and archive every document that has ever been produced by the Southern Region Venturing to my knowledge. And I'm very proud to say that as 2 weeks ago, we finished that task. Additionally, it is through the work of this Records Committee that has been tracking our membership numbers throughout the past 2 years that I can proudly state today that as of April, the Southern Region Venturing is even in its membership growth, which we're very excited about. Our Newsletter Committee has worked to create a stable foundation for a regional newsletter to help improve our communications, and our regional event, some of you may know as Winterfest. We are excited to be a part of the planning of the Winterfest event in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, hosted by the Northeast Georgia Council. And we're excited to say that because of the work of this regional event committee, we saw an explosion of venturing at Winterfest with a lot more of venturing events, a lot more participation at those events, and of course, a lot more venturers at that event, which we're very excited about. Of course, even though all of these things are really great achievements that we're very proud of at the region, the pride of our region are our area VOAs. Our area VOAs have been improving dramatically this term. We've had 9 really great area presidents which serve all the states and the venturers within our region. Each of our regions has been improving their council support through their unique ways. We're very proud to say that we feel that every council in the region is supported by these areas. We've seen more council VOAs being created, more trainings being offered to these VOAs, and more communications between the area and the council VOAs, which is very exciting for us at the region. Additionally, each area has an area event or is in the stage of planning an area event, which means that they'll be able to offer more programs to the councils, which is another exciting thing. And the last exciting thing is that several of our areas have grown in membership. They're in the green, which is amazing. I just say that a lot. That's my word, amazing. Because we are amazing. I think everyone's amazing. Of course, I'd like to recognize someone tonight because without his support at the regional level, we wouldn't be able to do anything in Southern Region Venturing. So Mr. Lamar Perry, wherever he ran off to, can you please stand? Thank you so much. Mr. Lamar Perry is our regional staff advisor, and he's just so supportive and willing to help us out with all of our various projects, and we're so grateful. And that's the past, so looking towards the future, I'd also like to have the incoming Southern Region Venturing President, Savannah McMillan, stand and be recognized. Savannah is from Area 6 in Knoxville, Tennessee. She has several really great goals, and I personally am very excited to see her continuing and improving all of the growth we've had in the Southern Region Venturing this term. Thank you.
Thank you, Lydia, and thank you to your whole team for all your accomplishments in the Southern Region. Just a fun fact about Southern Region. She talked about the committees that she made. She got a lot more in people. She and her team got a lot more people involved in the southern region, and this year they had a record number of applications for VOA officers. So if we could give her a big round of applause, she's really getting the youth involved in the southern region. And I apologize again because we're going to change our schedule around just a little bit. We have Mr. Charles Dahlquist here, and he's obviously our national commissioner, and he'd love to address the group here. So he has a very busy schedule as well, and so if we could invite him up to come to the podium, and then we'll continue with the rest of our regions.
Well, thank you all for coming, and I want you to know one of the most interesting questions that I've had over the last couple of weeks is, with the most recent announcement from the LDS Church regarding varsity and venturing, are you going to buy you a khaki shirt? And my answer was, I already have a couple of khaki shirts, and I'm going to keep wearing the green because venturing is alive and well. Betsy is, and Charlie is over here. I also have a Sea Scout shirt. And Sea Scouting is alive and well. And I'm just grateful for you and for the impact that you're having. You know, I read a story that reminded me of you and the impact of what's happening in this life. And it was a story about a young girl who was the 20th of 22 children. Well, mother, can you believe that? Was born in some significant poverty. She had difficulties as a youth and was born, actually had a leg that was basically non-functional. And they told her that she'd never run and never be able to walk. But when she was age 9, something happened, and she decided, when her mother told her that she could do almost anything, if she put her mind to it, that she decided that she wanted to be a runner. And so she took her brace off and she began to run. And the first race she ran, after 4 years, she came in dead last, but she finished. And then she ran another race and she came in dead last, but she finished. And then she kept running these races. Finally, she came in second to last. And then, but she kept running. She kept running. Finally, she went to Tennessee State. She met a coach who could see the tenacity of this great, unbelievable runner who had an unusual gait, but had a very rhythmic gait, but most importantly, believed in herself. And the rest is history. 3 gold medals for Wilma Rudolph. And that's what this is all about. It's really not all about the Summit Award. It's not about service. It's not about anything else. It's about this whole issue of character and really realizing why a kind Heavenly Father put us here on the earth, and that is to serve and to become our very best selves, to reach out to others and to make their lives better, and to use every bit of talent and ability and energy that we have in becoming and helping others become and believing in themselves. You know, it's interesting, but Wilma Rudolph made a decision. She made a decision not to believe the doctors, but to believe her mother. And many of our youth don't have parents like she did, but they have advisors. And they have people just like your advisors, and they have people like Forrest down there, and they have people like each of you, Pratik, and all of your folks, and they have people like Jen here who are heroes to me. In fact, I look around here and I see all kinds of heroes that are heroes to me just because you make me feel so good. And that's what scouting's all about. I said this morning that it was a great time to be involved in scouting, and I will just echo that today. It's a wonderful time to be in scouting. If you're worried about the lack of numbers in the LDS units, don't worry about that. The LDS units now have an opportunity to be focused and to have a better program because for whatever reason, the application of venturing, as good as it was spotty. They have not had the experience that many of you have had in venturing crews. Hopefully they will have a great building learning experience, and venturing will still continue to grow. And sea exploring will still continue to grow, and will still continue to touch lives of all of those. So God bless you for all that you do, and thank you for being wonderful heroes. I see Ken King here, who in about a day will be receiving the Silver Buffalo Award, and he's been one of my great heroes who would never, in fact, his face becomes redder than his hair whenever I talk about him. And yet, who is one of the great servant leaders that I know that have ever walked the earth. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to rub shoulders with each of you. Thank you for what you do, and thanks particularly to you young leaders who make us feel so good because you have carried the torch, and you are now carrying the torch that some of us are becoming a little weary of carrying, just to be honest with you. But we're grateful for the rising generation and what you do, and thank you for your leadership, Pratik, and thanks for each of you for all that you do. God bless you and all that you do. Thank you for letting me be with you, and if you will excuse me, I have 3 more places to be tonight, so I'm going to run.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dahlquist, and for your words and inspiration. We really appreciate you being such a big proponent and supporter of our programs. We will go ahead and continue with some of our region presidents and what they've accomplished this year. And so next up, we have Mr. Eric Sederholm from the Northeast region.
So, like Pratik said, my name is Eric Sederholm, and it was an honor to serve this year as the Northeast Region Venturing President. The 3 biggest things that we accomplished as a VOA and as a venturing program in the Northeast were, first, we did a full data analysis of what works for venturing events and what doesn't, and we looked at it all, and we used all of that data to come up with suggestions for area VOAs to use to better their program events. The second one is we sat down with professionals at the area level, and we asked them how the VOA could specifically work, the region VOA could specifically work to help them better their program and grow their venturing numbers. And we're still working to generate that and bring it along a little bit further, but we'll use that. Hopefully the next VOA will take the fruits of our labor there and continue it. And then finally we had Nervecast, which was our monthly podcast, where we tackled and talked about the big ideas in venturing, and that has really helped to grow the engagement that the region has with all of its members. And like I said, it was an honor to serve as the Northeast Region Venturing President, and thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Eric. And Eric mentioned his Nervecast project. He mentioned it was for the region, but that project was so successful that it really took over the whole nation. We had people from all over the country watching it. He had a social media campaign to really make sure that it was spreading beforehand, and he was changing it and trying it out. I know many of us were guests on there, trying different things, Facebook Live, recording it before, recording it on the spot, and so it was definitely a big success. All right, next up we have Chris Moushart from the Central Region.
Thank you. As he said, I had the privilege of serving as the Central Region Venturing President. On me too, have been busy working on a couple of projects. The first of which is Where to Go Venturing Summer Camp. So we noticed a lot of crews were struggling to find venturing-specific summer camp options. So we compiled a list of camps in the Central Region that offered a venturing-specific summer camp. And with that list, we published it, and we call it Where to Go Venturing Summer Camp. If you're interested, it's on our website, so please go check it out. I think it's really beautiful. Another thing that we worked on was we had a large database of PowerPoints. However, some of them were becoming old and outdated. So we had a team of youth work on that to update that. Now we have a really beautiful database of PowerPoints that areas and crews can use when putting on trainings. And finally, we worked on our CSVE. We had really great attendance with that, or not attendance. We had great participation with that, and that has led to the success of our region. So with that, I'll hand it back over to Pratik.
Thank you, Chris. And so we'll talk about 2 of those things that, one of the projects he mentioned a little later, but the Where to Go Venturing Adventure Database, really cool idea, and it's something that even many of the other regions are looking to pick up in the future years, and so he's really started and planted that seed that we hope to spread here soon. So thank you, Chris. And last but not least, we have the Western region. Their current venturing president, Katie Schneider, couldn't be here today. She's getting in at midnight or 12:15 this evening because she has school. But we do have Jessica Kent, who is the incoming Western Region Venturing President.
Hello everyone, I'm Jessica Kent. And 3 things our region focused on this year was we were asked to give our areas more support, so we strategized ways we could do that. And we are still working on that, but we have offered them more support. Our second thing is that we worked on area VOAs, and coming this August, we should have area VOAs in all 5 of our areas. And our last thing is we really focused on communications. We had an awesome communications person. Sorry, that was me. We worked on different ways that we could reach all of the youth in our region because it's a very large geographic region. So I hope to continue this growth in my term this next year. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you to Jessica and Katie and the rest of their team. One thing she didn't mention actually is they hosted, at least in my recollection, the first ever virtual birthday party for venturing. So they celebrated the 19th 19th anniversary of venturing on Facebook Live, and they literally sat there in front of a camera, ate cake, and had a good time. So that was something that was really cool. So you guys can go ahead and take a seat, but don't sit too far away. You heard all of their accomplishments and a lot of the work that they have been putting in. It's taken a lot of time and hours, and as a national VOA, our main job is to make sure that our regions, have the opportunities and have the ability to accomplish their goals. We also did a couple things on the national level that Michelle and I would love to talk about. So I'll go ahead and start off with Michelle to talk about some of the national projects we achieved this year.
Hi everybody. So one of our main goals for the term was improved communication. Without our venturing participants knowing what's going on in venturing won't be delivered as planned. So one of the ways we did that, Pratik will talk about it a little bit in a minute, is the redesigned venturing website. One of the projects that I personally worked on was improving our social media presence. Our Facebook following has increased dramatically, and we put on different social media campaigns. For example, leading up to the 19th birthday of venturing, we highlighted 19 different crews from around the country and kind of shared their venturing stories. And if you don't already follow us on Facebook, please make sure to like us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And also this year, we created a Snapchat. So you can follow us on Snapchat. Our username is VenturingBSA if you haven't already. And with Twitter and Instagram, we are working continuously to improve the venturing presence on there. We also created an email newsletter that we are able to send out directly to venturing participants. So this is the first time we've really been able to, as an NVOA, contact venturers directly. The first one was emailed out a few months ago, and the next one will be emailed out in the coming days. If you did not receive the first one, please let us know and we'll make sure you get those going in the future. And as already was discussed a little bit, we completed our Council Standard of Venturing Excellence award process, and like it was already mentioned, Gold Councils were recognized for the first time since so last year we didn't have Gold Councils, and this year we do. So we're really excited to see that kind of improvement in our venturing programs throughout the country. So I'll pass it back over to Pratik.
Awesome. Just 2 more things. We kind of split it up, and so Michelle mentioned the venturing.org website, and hopefully you all have seen it. But the vision with that, when we started off our term, we talked with the whole NVOA, and we wanted to figure out how can we improve our current venturing website and take advantage of all the resources that the region websites had to offer, take the best parts of those, and really make sure that resources were accessible to our whole venturing membership. And so we had a team of youth work on that from across the nation. It was designed by youth, created by youth, And Jessica and the rest of our advisors and staff really helped to make sure that we were able to push that through and get that published. So as far as I know, this is the first time that they've given youth and even a specific program have full control over their website, and so it's definitely changing some traditions and mindsets, and we're really excited about that. As you can tell, a lot has happened over this past year in our regions at the national level, and for that, we have some gifts, I guess, to recognize our youth officers as well as their advisors. And so if I could have Mr. Chris Zarobsky, our National Venturing Advisor, as well as Ms. Jessica Jansha, our National Venturing Staff Advisor, to help me with these presentations. Alright, so just so you guys can see what's in this before, instead of making each of them open them up, each of our region presidents are going to receive a belt buckle. And it's a pretty fancy special belt buckle. Many of us wear leather belts, and so it says their position on there, and it's something that they can cherish and keep as they continue scouting on, because this is never the end of their journey. And then the second thing, which is something that's a little new, is we have these photo frames that we've engraved. And so they haven't seen these yet, but it has their name at the top, and then it says National Venturing Officers Association and the year, and there's a quote on there which says, "The most worthwhile thing is to try to put happiness into the lives of others." And I truly believe that our officers and advisors are doing that every day as they serve our venturing program. So with that, we'll go ahead and start off with the southern region. So if Jen and Lydia could come up. Thank you both. All right, next up we'll have the central region. So if we can have Jeff Geralds and Chris Mousehart come up to the front. All right, next up we'll have Western Region, and so if Dave Wilson could come up, that would be nice. He's having a little trouble here, it's okay.
This is Katie's, no I don't get to. Don't tell Katie.
And then last but not least, we have Eric from the Northeast region. And then with our regions, we also have our national side of it, and so if Michelle Merritt could come up as our National Venturing Vice President. All right, and then these two people who have been in the front awarding other people, it's my pleasure and honor to award them with some gifts as well. So I guess they will give them to themselves. Chris and Jessica give them to each other. Thank you guys.
But last but not least, our president, Mr. Pratik Vedra.
And so now I'd actually like to turn it over to Chris Zarowski to talk about our National Venturing Committee.
We had a very exciting year. For the first time in a long time, we had an entirely fully functional venturing committee. Let's give that a big round of applause. We've got some important people. You heard from Jack first. He's our chair. He did have to go. But I want to give a big round of applause for our staff advisor. Most staff advisors, this is a career for them. So a lot for us. You know, we get to go home at 5 o'clock. I don't need to tell you anything that you don't know already. This woman answers the phone any time of the day. So I'd really like to give a big round of applause for our staff advisor, Miss Jessica Janchen. It really starts with these 4 amazing people. These people, I can't do my job if they're not doing wonderful things in their regions. So I'd like to recognize our incredible, never-ending, back-breaking, untireless, every moment of every day, these guys are doing everything. I'd like to first recognize our longest-serving region advisor and chair, and she's not with us tonight, but hopefully she's watching on Facebook, Ms. Christine Lutzka from the Northeast region. From the Southern region, Ms. Jennifer Hancock. From the Central region, Mr. Jeff Geralds. And from the Western region, Mr. David Wilson. For the sake of time, I have a whole lot of other people that I need to read their names because these people work also just as tirelessly to make sure that venturing runs perfectly from behind the scenes. So if you can do me a favor, I know I want a big round of applause for every single one of them, but if you can wait till the end, and they're awesome here. So if you're in the room, if you can stand up and just give a little wave, we'd really appreciate it. I'd like to recognize Mr. Ken King, Mr. Ken Bauer, Miss Caitlin Adams, Jillian Infusino, Andrew Miller, Steve Smith, Dan Caribou, Sarah Mitrucker, Robbie DiBaggio, Rick Hildebrand, Bob Johnson, Savannah McMillan, Emily Mossart, Forrest Geerton, Charlie Wooster, Nate Steele, and then also our very, very important members at large. Our last year's president, Edward Abraham, Larry Call from the Western region, Jim Virgin, who I didn't see with us tonight, and from the Central region, and the man that birthed the PTC Venturing Blast Fest, Mr. Chuck Womack. If I can give a big round of applause for all of them. As my last point of recognition, we have 2 outgoing regional advisors and chairs. Unfortunately, they can't join us tonight. So what we did on their behalf is we purchased a brick at PTC and the Philmont Scout Ranch that will benefit the Seton Memorial Library and Education Center. These bricks are customized in their name, and so they're going to get a beautiful certificate. But we didn't think it needed to stop there. We wanted something tangible, something they could take home and put on their mantle. So we found somebody who could make exact replicas, and we're going to be getting those to them. So hopefully they're watching on Facebook. Thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you. I have the honor today of doing the recognition of our National Venturing Leadership Awardees. I want to read a quote that, part of a quote that we utilize with the committee who makes the choice of that because I think it's very fitting. The Venturing Leadership Award is the highest honor that distinguishes ventures and venturing advisors from his or her peers in the recognition of extraordinary leadership and service. If we think about the word extraordinary, with its components, parts, meaning beyond the ordinary, we can see that the recipient of this award is someone who has excelled beyond typical venturers and venturing advisors. Since the VLA can be awarded for service in 4 distinct areas in the VSA, council, area, regional, and national level. The standards for comparison increase as the service of the adventurer or venturing advisor grows larger. With that, the idea of extraordinary leadership and leadership that is beyond the performance of the average venturer or venturing advisor serving at the level becomes more and more selective as the size of the service area increases. Pratik and Chris. Our first awardee, Christopher Maltz-Hart from Greater St. Louis Area Council. He is currently the 2016-2017 Central Region President. It has been said Chris has served admirably as the Central Region Venturing President, managing his school, family, and life commitments. Chris has continued to lead the Central Region Venturing Program and impacted the thousands of venturers within and beyond his region. He always has a great attitude and a can-do spirit and is very visible, lives and breathes the Scout oath and law. Our second awardee, Michelle Merritt, she is from the Spirit of the Adventure Council. She is the current 2016-2017 National Venturing Vice President. Michelle has worked hard to support all 4 BSA regions. She has visited the Southern region, helping them with Council Standards of Venturing Excellence forms and helping them manage their national contact sheet. She provides great leadership and abilities and service last summer at the Philmont Training Center. She has staffed one of many great courses offered there. Michelle has also done wonderful things for communication nationally through social media and beyond. She will also be the next national vice president, or national venture president, sorry. Eric Saderholm from Baltimore Area Council. He is currently the 2016-2017 National Venturing President. Eric has provided exemplary leadership to the youth and adults of the Northeast region throughout his tenure as the Northeast Region Venturing President, with notable accomplishments including the planning, production, and success of the Northeast Region Venturing Cast, a monthly podcast watched across the country by members of the venturing community. Our fourth awardee cannot be here, but I'm hoping her advisor can come get it for her. Katie Schneider, who is on an airplane right now across country from the Great Southwest Council. She's the 2016-2017 Western Region Venturing President. She was able to unite her region. She traveled around the region talking to youth and adults about the importance of venturing. This allowed the venturing door to be opened in councils for the first time. Kathy Seabauer from Prairie Lane Council. She's the 2016-2017 Central Region Vice President of Administration. Kathy has worked tirelessly on numerous projects for the National Venturing Committee, including, most notably, the Venturing.org. Kathy, along with the National Venturing President, Pratik Vaidya, and others, worked to launch Venturing's own custom website during this past term. Not only does this increase the program's visibility, and also expands Venturing's ability to reach directly to its members. And she will be the 2017-2018 National Venturing Vice President. Nate Still from Muscatine Valley Council. He is a National Venturing Committee member, and Nate's critical thinking has served venturing well. He has developed and tested a venturing value proposition, helping venturing lay the groundwork for growth.
Nice beard.
All 6 of those were our youth members. that is the basis. A couple of years ago, we were able, thanks to the Awards and Recognition Committee, to open the VLA back up to adult members. So we have 2 of those tonight. Russ Hunsaker from Great Salt Lake Council, National Relationships Chairman. Russ has shown intense dedication to the youth of venturing. He has led the National 411 Task Force, which extensively studied each of the programs to suggest changes that should happen. His first thought has always been how the BSA can transform more lives through our programs. He has opened his door for venturing to be more directly represented at the table with outside partners. This will allow venturing to have a greater audience for membership growth. So this last person, before I started, he did not come to us as a venturer. Most of the people you hear really bleed green, as I say it. So we're very excited about this next one, and that's Andrew Miller. He's from Garden State, National Venturing Committee Strategic Planning and Pilots Chairman. Andrew is a huge proponent of the youth involvement and has found ways to implement new ideas developed by venturing youth. With his experience in scouting, he has served as a great resource and guides young people through the thought process. That helps them grow as individuals.
All right. Congratulations to all of our wonderful National Venturing Leadership Award recipients. So you've heard it mentioned before already, but I'd like to formally announce our new National Venturing President, Michelle Merritt. Michelle is currently serving as the National Venturing Vice President, and so in 6 days and 6 days, 5 hours, and 48 minutes, we will be passing the torch over to Michelle. And so I will turn it over to her to speak to you all and introduce the rest of her NVOA.
Thank you, Pete. First of all, I would just like to say thank you for your year of service to venturing. On behalf of the rest of the NVOA, we really appreciated having you as our president, and I'm really excited to take on this office in the next year. So I would like to briefly introduce the next National Venturing Officers Association, and we're excited to have a few of them joining us. So as I say your name, if you're here, just please stand. It was already mentioned, but Kathy Seabauer will be serving as the National Venturing Vice President in 2017-2018. Savannah McMillan will be serving as the 2017-2018 Southern Region Venturing President. Jessica Kent will be serving as the 2017-2018 Western Region President. And Ripley Price will be serving as the Northeast Region Venturing President next year. She's unfortunately not able to join us today. And Dominic Walters from the Central Region will be serving as the Central Region Venturing President next year. So I'd just like to take a moment to recognize all of them for their hard work for the coming year. All right.
There they are again. Thank you, Michelle, and I'm super excited for the next NVOA coming in here. It's truly been an incredible journey. There, as you heard, we've had many accomplishments. There's lots of changes that have happened over this past year. Many more are coming, but the future truly does look bright, and it's thanks to all of you over here, but really help to strengthen our program, make it a grassroots movement, and make sure we continue moving forward. I'm also excited about Venturing Fest 2018. So it's something that we haven't mentioned yet so far, which is surprising. Usually it's the first thing we do. But each of you have a sticker on your chair, And we hope you wear that proudly or put that on your car, your laptop, water bottle, wherever you'd like. If you want more, we can definitely get you more stickers. But we'd love to see you at Venturing Fest 2018 at the Summit Bechtel Reserve to celebrate Venturing's 20th anniversary. It's over the week of 4th of July, and so we'll definitely be having a great celebration, complete with fireworks as well. I just want to thank once again all of our dedicated volunteers and professionals who really work tirelessly and spend countless hours ensuring our program is as great as it is. And finally, I'd like to thank my family, my friends, and my council and region for truly supporting me on this incredible and humbling journey. So with that, we will close out this Venturing and Sea Scout reception with a quick promo video about Venturing Fest. And afterwards, feel free, looks like there's a lot more cookies, drinks, the photo booth will be open outside, and just so you guys know about the photo booth, we'll be posting all those pictures on Facebook so you can share them with your friends and family and tell them about the great time you had here at the National Annual Meetings.